you have to be so confident and assertive, and it's not being a bitch, but it's like just knowing what you want.
So, hi, Nesbitt. Welcome to the Energy Star Talk.
Thank you. Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Perfect. So, we have a wonderful piece of music from you on the Energy playlist now. This is Loyal to Me.
Oh, thank you.
And we're really in love with it. I absolutely admire these kind of 90s sounds in it. You know, just the first time I heard it, it was like, okay, it's something, it reminds me a little bit of the Destiny's Child song or something like that. So where does these influences came from?
I actually was just songwriting for other artists for a while. I kind of went back and listened through Destiny's Child, TLC, Lauryn Hill, all those sort of artists, and I wanted to write my version of one of those songs. So I was really inspired by a lot of the Destiny's Child stuff. Do Up That Thing, Lauryn Hill, No Scrubs, TLC, all those sort of like women like not taking any shit from men songs. And so I wrote it with a girl band in mind. We have a girl band called Little Mix who are really big, and I was like, I'd love to write this song for them, like that's who I would love to sing this song. And then I finished the song and suddenly was like, oh, I want to keep this is something different for me. And then it became a single. So
it's really cool because it's just like it's something like we see in about the 90s stuff and music and clothing, and this is really cool. Like to see all this influences coming back from this cool older music, and the topic is even the same, like you just said in the music from TLC, from Destiny's Child. It's really like powerful female stuff. It's like, as you just said, not taking any shit from men.
Yeah.
So did I get that right? That Loyal to Me is really about like, okay, if a man talks shit, he is in fact shitty. So it's like, if you get the feeling that he's not honest, he probably isn't. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I wrote it for my friend Claire, who was going through a bit of a situation with a guy. And it's just saying, you know, if your gut feeling is telling you that he is cheating on you, most of the time he is, or, you know, if he's not making you feel amazing and secure in your relationship, then it's not right. So leave.
Absolutely. This is a hard thing to hear, even from a close friend, because even you, most of the time when you are in such kind of a situation, you already know the answers. You know that you gotta leave. You know this is not right anymore. You know he's not doing right with you, but you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you don't take your own advice.
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes it needs a very good and close friend to say, well, stop this.
Yeah.
Run away. Yeah. So I just heard that an album is coming out in February next year.
Yes.
So can we expect this kind of music like we have with Loyal to Me on the whole album, or will this be a completely different situation?
There is a song called Love Letter on the album, which I would describe as Loyal to Me's baby sister, and it's like the follow-on. So that is on there. But I would say it's less R&B, the album.
Okay.
That's as R&B as it goes, Loyal to Me. And it's sort of lyrically led storytelling, quite stripped back, catchy, but deep at the same time.
Very looking forward. Really cool. So since your career started on YouTube, what do you think about this kind of parallel lives we in our lives do create on social media platforms, like, you know, on Instagram, all these filters we put up, all these stories we try to tell, and all this kind of stuff we try to create in our feeds, like, look how amazing my life is.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, everyone thinks my life's better than it is, so it's great. It's quite weird, though. I feel like everyone puts the best version of themselves out, and we put the photos where we think we look our best out, which creates this false illusion of what reality is. Do you know what I mean? But we all do it, so
yeah, absolutely.
I can't really complain about it. But I mean, I try and be honest in the captions and be like, I'm having a bad day today, or I'm having a great day today, or, you know, try and put my personality across through social media, which I think is important. But yeah, it's this weird, it's a very weird world that we live in.
Absolutely. Do you get in contact with your fans and your followers on Insta, or is it like do you have completely shut down all these functions like comments and stuff? I think you can just put it off completely on Insta. Like nobody can answer to your stories, maybe or stuff. Or do you connect with your fan base?
I love chatting away. I think at this time as well, when I'm sort of putting new music out and a lot of people are discovering me, like I want to know where they're from, what their favourite song is, if they're coming to the shows. And I find like the comment section, I'm always replying and finding out things about people. I like to find out about people that listen to me because it gives me an insight about what people like and where they are. So that could be, I could look at that and go, oh, I have fans in Germany, so I'm going to do a tour in Germany. And it's helped me discover where people are. So it's a very useful tool.
Kind of really cool. So are there any plans for doing a tour in Germany? As you just said it.
Well, I'm on a support tour at the moment and I'm planning on coming back in the spring to do some headline shows.
Cool.
People always say, come to Germany online, but Germany's huge.
Yeah, we're nicer than they think.
Yeah. So... yeah.
Let's just talk again about girl power and feminism. What does these things mean to you? And what do you think women should be spoken out with their feminism and their girl power in these days?
Something that I've definitely tried to do on this album is, I feel like on my first album, which I think came out in Germany, I'm not sure, it was like 5 years ago, a lot of the songs are quite like, oh, I'm the victim, poor me, like feel sorry for me. And something I try to do on this album now that I'm a bit older and I've had relationships and I know what happens when you break up with someone, and I'm a lot wiser in terms of that sort of thing. So on this album, I was like, I want to be in control in this album and like take ownership of my feelings. Like even if it is a vulnerable song where, I'm like sad or whatever, like I want to take ownership of it and be like, it's okay to feel like that. And it's okay to also, take control of your feelings and be the one on the other end of it. And there's a lot of songs on the album as well about sort of personal growth. And as a young woman, and especially in the music industry, you have to be so confident and assertive, and it's not being a bitch, but it's like just knowing what you want and learning to sort of be like that is kind of hard because you're scared that people are going to be like, oh, you're a bitch, or like, you're so bossy, or you're rude. And it's like, no, like I just know what I want. And I think I struggled with that as a writer, like going into rooms and people be like, oh, you play an instrument. I didn't expect that. And it's like, yeah, like girls can write and produce and sing all at the same time.
Yeah.